What's good, YouTube? It's Briscoe back in this video. We just got support spoiled for Flame Swordsman. Yep, in Maze of Millennium, we're actually getting some TCG exclusives, and apparently a lot of them are support for the existing Flame Swordsman archetype, which is very surprising to me because this archetype currently only has 3 cards, including the original Flame Swordsman. We have the Link monster, Ferocious Flame Swordsman, as well as the Blue Flame Swordsman, who were also TCG exclusives that were released in the past. And now it seems we're actually getting at least 2 more Flame Swordsman cards in the form of Fighting Flame Swordsman, who's actually a level 4 Flame Swordsman monster. That's a counterpart to the Blue Flame Swordsman, as well as Fighting Flame Dragon. This actually appears to be the dragon embodiment form of the existing Salamandra equipped spell, which is kind of interesting. Now, somebody squinted really hard and translated what the exact text says, because these spoilers are basically unreadable, especially with the watermark. But first and foremost, Fighting Flame Swordsman, which is level 4, is a level 4 1800 attack fire warrior monster, which is good for Infernobles if only we had a sold. But hey, let's see what they do. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add 1 spell or trap that mentions Flame Swordsman from your deck to your hand. Now, we don't actually have any existing spells or traps that actually mentions Flame Swordsman, so that means that there are some Flame Swordsman spells and traps being released as well, and this is basically a Stratos monster for that. So I mean, depending on what those spells or traps do, I would assume that this deck could potentially be a splashable engine for something like Infernobos, because they are fire warrior monsters. And I mean, I would imagine it's probably a retrain of the Salamandra card, probably in some shape or form. And then the other fact is, if this card is sent to the graveyard from anywhere, you can send 1 Flame Swordsman or 1 monster that mentions it from your deck or extra deck to the graveyard, except Fighting Flame Swordsman. So that's really, really cool, because you can probably foolish some cards to get some effects, or potentially the original Flame Swordsman if there's a way to use it as a fusion material maybe later on. Fighting Flame Dragon is now the fusion monster, level 5. This is a 1700 attack monster that says 1 dragon plus 1 fire warrior monster. Potentially down the line, super poly target, who knows. Except during the damage tech quick effect, you can target 1 warrior fusion monster you control. Equip this card from your field or graveyard to that monster you control as an equipped spell. Okay, you can only use this effect once per turn. When this card is equipped to a Flame Swordsman or a monster that mentions it, the equipped monster gains 700 attack and can attack twice during each battle phase. Interesting. So depending on what other Flame Swordsman monsters that we're actually going to get in this set, this could be very, very interesting. I just wanted to make this because I really love Legacy support, and I'm glad that they're printing more cards for it. Now, really quickly taking a look at the existing Flame Swordsman stuff that we have. So we obviously have the original Flame Swordsman that came out in LOB, you know, Joey's, one of his signature monsters, as well as an alternate art that was only released in the OCG. I'm actually hoping that we get this alternate art. It looks a lot worse. I mean, like, what is going on with his fingers here? Holy smokes. But anyways, this Flame Swordsman would be cool to have because it was an OCG exclusive artwork. And then we also have the Ferocious Flame Swordsman, which is the Link monster. When he's destroyed by your opponent's card, you can special summon a non-Link warrior monster in your graveyard, as well as a Blue Flame Swordsman, who is basically allows you to special summon a fire warrior type in your graveyard when he's destroyed by your opponent's card. So these cards are not that good, obviously not very future proof. I mean, the Link monster is not bad because he's generic, but then the Blue Flame Swordsman is pretty janky. Now, that being said, we do actually have another card that does mention Flame Swordsman, and that's none other than the older card, Dark Flare Knight. This is a fusion monster that was predominantly useful in Go Control. Now, this card can actually be somewhat useful right now because we actually have a card called Fusion Armament. For you guys that totally forgot about this card, it actually has Flame Swordsman literally on the artwork, but this says reveal a fusion monster in your extra deck and special summon 1 of the fusion materials whose name is mentioned on that monster from your extra deck or your graveyard, but it can't attack and the effects are negated. So this is actually very, very useful because we can actually reveal the Dark Flare Knight and then proceed to special summon a Flame Swordsman directly from our deck, bypassing any restriction, and that essentially allows us to play more copies of Instant Fusion, which does the exact same thing, right? And so does Ready Fusion for that exact matter. Special summon 1 level 6 or lower non-effect fusion monster from your deck, which counts for Flame Swordsman. So we essentially have up to 7 copies of Instant Fusion, which could be relevant for this depending on what the new cards do. And then on top of that, there are existing fire type support, fire warrior support, like Immortal Phoenix Gearfried, which is just an insane monster. We obviously have all of the Infernobos, which are good in their own respective rights, even though Assault has been banned. But I mean, hey, what can you do, right? We do still have a powerful array of monsters that are very, very useful, and also pair well with the Snake Eyes engine as well, because you can actually summon out Ricardetto. So there are a lot of potential ways to make this deck happen. I mean, I'm kind of crossing my fingers. Maybe I shouldn't speak too soon because generally these type of TCG anime exclusives are not very good in practice, but they're apparently releasing a couple of good cards. I mean, from what we read so far, the Stratos for a spell or trap card is just generically good, and the Fusion Monster seems generically good as well, because that's something we can just dump to the graveyard easily. And then on top of all the fusion support that we have so far, and assuming that we do actually get a good retrain of Salamandra or whatever the heck is going to happen for the Flame Swordsman, I'm just really excited to see this potentially be a splashable engine, maybe either in Infernobles or just in general, you know, like as extenders if these cards are good. So yeah, what do you guys think about Flame Swordsman? I just want to make this really quick because I just love like legacy support once again, and I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts. Do you think this will be meta relevant, and do you have any ideas of what the cards might do? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.